I don't know why I hit recording right before I blew my nose. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. What is happening? Hello, Christian. I see you out there asking for things, asking for me to, hey man, this is the same guy doing the same stuff. Oh, he did not like that. Christian, in the comments, I have been reading the comments. We've got, real quick update, we've got 9 videos that aren't monetized. I'm trying to work through that, but I have been reading the comments. I happened to see somebody ask for me to play my Mycoloth deck, which you're going to see in a minute is not the Mycoloth deck that you remember it being. But that being said, we've been working on the channel a little bit, been reading the comments, been doing stuff like that, been trying to get those videos back up and running. That guy who just came back in and then ran away had a Mycoloth build of his own, played both Mycoloths against me. This particular build was able to deal with both of them before anything bad happened, almost immediately after he played them. Well, actually immediately after he played them, once on his turn and then once actually on my following turn before it became his upkeep. So this is a better Mycoloth deck. It's pretty removal heavy. I've got some notes here to watch out for the removal, so some things to watch in this would be the mana base, which seems to be doing quite well for us. The mana base and the removal heavy nature of this deck are going to be two things for you guys to look out for while we're playing this match. This is live though. It's like calling my shots, but that's just one of the things that I'm concerned about. Let's put it that way. While I play this, you know, because this is still the playtesting phase. This is actually heavily into the playtesting phase because I have never had this particular Mycoloth build with the red in there. One of the things that I noticed when I went back to that deck is that I had that blue in there, but I wasn't absolutely sure why I'd done that. Blue is great and everything for card draw, but it seemed kind of ham-fisted to just shove that in there because of, I assume, it was because of the Talrand. The thing with Talrand, though, is that red gives us the Rabblemaster. Rabblemaster, if you remember, is he generates a creature every combat step. He costs 1 mana less, but the great thing about him is that he costs only 1 dedicated red. Talrand, as you all know, is 2 colorless, 2 blue. In a tricolored deck, that's a pretty huge difference. So I'm pretty happy that I was able to get away from that a little bit. Now, one of the things that I'm also worried about in this current matchup is my speed, because I don't seem to be drawing into anything too great. And we do have 22 lands in here, which seems like an okay number, but right now we're suffering a little bit of a flood. Luckily, our Attended Knights are basically the value of 2 cards slammed into 1. So we got rid of blue, long story short. I hope I'm recording. And I am indeed, which works out well for me, because I do enjoy when I record these episodes. Just sit, talk to myself for an hour is a little strange. I'm going to bash in. This guy does have some open mana. He's got a shock and things. We got rid of some of the card draw, but we do have some pretty great card draw engines from Wall of Omens. And of course, we have the 2/2 dude who bros down and just goes to work for us. I am going to wall right here. He has no creature counter, so I might as well play that Boros Guildgate so that I can stay on task as far as my mana is concerned. And actually, we will play this Jungle Shrine and end my turn. It's just more versatile, even though we really don't have any need for it, except for the fact now that we have that 3rd white, we kind of have our Planar Cleansing online, which thank you for demonstrating that. So this... one of the things I've been doing, if you guys have been noticing, is I've been using a pad of paper just to kind of keep track of what's going on in the matches. It has been a month since I played, so I'm a little rusty. Also, using a pad and paper is not a bad idea no matter where you are in your Magic career. Actually, you know, pro players will have a pad of paper full of just chicken scratch of all the different aspects of a match that's going on. So it is a very good idea to keep a pad of paper with you if you're really serious about playing Magic. I kind of need the aid because I'm talking and I'm trying to keep track of the match, and I've realized that, you know, a month, I think some people downplay the added difficulty of just rambling on the entire time that a match is taking place. It's tough. It's tough in Let's Plays, it's tough in action games, Mega Man and stuff like that. It can make you mess up things that you have done 100,000 times that are almost just muscle memory at that point. So it is also very true of games like Magic that are so complex and have so much going on in them. I am going to Angelic Edict, which I know is very dangerous considering the force that I'm facing right now and the cards that this guy can have. But the 4/4 is a real pain in the ass. I don't really have any way to deal with anything else. We're going to get rid of him. We're going to move directly into attack step. We're going to attack in 4/6. I really just have to apply pressure and hope he doesn't have anything. The Edict's also really good in this matchup because he has rescue from the underworld and things like that. We did force a block there finally, which is nice. It's good to see that we have him sweating a little bit, but he is not dead by any stretch of the imagination, and my hand is completely fried, so we have an issue there. This is where I kind of regret my decision to take blue out, because blue would be pretty great with the card draw. I don't know. That's a problem because the life gain I just lost. Well, that's not true. I can draw Reprisal. Shock doesn't do anything for me, though. Reprisal can try and get me out of this. Attended Night does not. He gains 5 on the attack, so I've got to just do more than he gains. So I'll play this other Attended Night. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So that'd be 4 on the turn if he attacks. Hopefully he has no other playables in hand, which is a ridiculous thing to surmise. But if he doesn't have anything else good enough to play, then we might be able to sneak a win out of this. Oh, shit. Now the 4/4 being out and the 5/5 being gone is obviously what I would have rather had. Now we're just... I mean, this guy just ramped into nuts. He is just going to overwhelm us. This is obviously a strong pile. It's Dredge, we believe, based on things like Planar Cleansing and Rescue. But it's just Dredge good stuff, it appears. Is it 5 color, actually? I'm not sure. Green, white, black, red. Blue. It is 5, so it's just 5 color good stuff, which is a valid strategy anymore. It's just so easy to, like we said before, it's just so easy to splash now that you can just keep those colors in there for all sorts of good things. Now, I'm doing this to try and burn anything so that I can draw the Planar Cleansing, which is the only thing that can save me here, even though he did just draw another card, which could probably end me. The other thing that we have to do is attack in. I don't even have the Planar Cleansing up, so he's not worried about that. So we did 1 damage more. He's going to go to 8, whereas he was at 9, but that's the only time that we get away with that. See, I was hoping if he didn't have any playables that we could pressure him into not attacking, because he would have to use that Baneslayer Angel to block. We have Reprisals, we have Angelic Edicts, we have Shocks, which won't do any good in this situation, but we do have a lot of removal in this deck. It's just a shame that we're not going to see any of it in time. Woolly Thoktar also wouldn't really help us. Jesus Christ, that's what he got, the Inferno Titan. If we are able to... Unless, what if he aims it all at my face? So it's 11. No, I wouldn't have died. The only thing we can hope for is to top deck our Planar Cleansing. And even then, I don't have any other momentum. I've just got these 2 lands, and this guy's got 4 cards in hand. Going to be drawn into a 5th, so I don't think that we will be winning this anytime soon. Disappointing. This is a much stronger deck early on, though. It's got the things like the Thoktars, things like that. It's a good game, though, for sure. This guy was good, and his deck is strong. You know, 5 color, strong cards. That's the kind of thing I love to play. It's an interesting take on it, though. Obviously, he's got the Garruk's is a card draw engine, which is interesting choice. You know, it's a thing that he's doing. Yeah, that was my last turn regardless. I was just thinking about... I should have thrown that block down before. I didn't block with the wall because I didn't talk about this, but I have the 4-pack of Cloud Shifts in my hand, so the prior turn I didn't block with the wall so that I might have an outside chance of drawing Cloud Shift, Cloud Shifting the wall, drawing what I needed. Insane when you think about it, but honestly would not have made any difference because I would have blocked it, would have died, I would have lost on that turn regardless of that decision. So that's what I was thinking of, maybe just having an outside chance of maybe getting something going. This is regrettable. Oh, but it's like kind of so good. Mulligan, I'll keep. He mold, so I'm keeping. 22 lands, like I said, it's the worst hand. I don't know why the fuck I did this. I should be punched in the nuts repeatedly. I apologize for the sound quality of yesterday's episode. I think I talked about it a little bit then, but the issue I had where my computer turned off when I tried to launch 2014, it didn't mess with anything, but just when my recording software opened up, it was just using the internal microphone instead of my external Yeti that I have. So just kind of a little annoying thing that sometimes happens when your computer turns off in a weird way or does any kind of weird shenanigan. You get that from time to time. So I really need this Cultivate, but my opponent knows I need the Cultivate, and I assume he has a counter ready for it, so I don't think I'm going to be able to play that ever, but I guess we'll see. I didn't take my medicine today. Just mumble about everyday monotonous bullshit with you guys, I suppose, is what I'm doing now. Oh dear, this is not an auspicious end to the week. I will say though that I have really been enjoying getting back into the swing of things, playing this game again with you guys. It's been a lot of fun. I kind of forgot how much I missed it. I'm going to get countered and I need this spell. I need this spell to go off. But that was the perfect turn to Cultivate right there. Shit. If this guy has the Scry counter, then I absolutely don't want to do it. Just a quick poke, because if I don't draw land, then I don't have any playables. Try and clear the way for the Rabble Master if he has the counter, because I have the land, so it'll make him feel like he fucked up, even though he didn't really. Yeah, because I'm going to drop the land right now. It'll make him think that I was playing with him. See, when that happens in real Magic, you smirk and play that land. You smirk when he counters, and then you play that land. Get in your opponent's brain, because he's obviously mana screwed. So you just go, just get that, throw that little smirk up, and just be like, that's exactly what I wanted you to do. Now we kind of want Thoktar out there instead of Rabble Master, because Thoktar can't eat shock. There's that heat. The Scry is a big deal for me. That's not good. It's not good. That's not good. You try and rock him so that he doesn't he's not as quick to counter things in the future. That's dope though, because Thoktar's coming down. And shock creatures, that thing, because he thinks he can counter stuff still, but he can't. He couldn't creature counter anything anyway. He's going to Vapor Snag that. I don't really give a shit. I just want my Thoktar to hit the field. The Vapor Snag's great for that as well, because, you know, he would have used the Vapor Snag on my dude. I could draw a... That's not what I want, but I want this Thoktar out. Finally got Thoktar down on the field, so... I mean, it's depressing because we assume he has no mana, so we assume it's all just bouncing counters. But even if that's true, we're going to slow him down a little bit here. Because he can't counter it even if he bounces it. So it's kind of alright. We get to play the Attendant Knight. Just that once. See, this is the thing when you're playing blue. When he played this guy, When he played that guy, it completely shifted momentum. Do you see how now, like, tempo is kind of all in my favor? Because now I bash him with the 5-4. If he bounces it, I get to just play it again. Like, the back and forth, the tit for tat for this as the blue mage is just completely swung in my favor in a very depressing and distressing way for him, I would imagine. I'm going to Attended Knight as well, because he can only counter spells with that guy out. Attended Knight is going to bring a friend, and I have a very oppressive force out there. Now I have 8 damage staring him in the face. He can block the 1-1, obviously, but that's still going to be taking 7. Take him to 5, which is just one more blast from Thoktar before he's dead. So that momentum shift was huge. He kept his hand because he's got all the counters, I would assume, but they're not enough. That's what's so difficult about those decks, and that's why I keep them strictly creatureless, is because I don't like that tempo shift kind of stuff. And here's the Void Snares and things that are going to be coming into play. Hopefully he taps down one more blue. But see, we're still not in... See, we're still in a great place. I really don't understand this deck too much. I don't think this is a very efficient build of what he's trying to go for here, because now I just get to play my Thoktar again. What was the point of that? Because he's not gaining momentum unless he bounces the Thoktar after I play it on my turn. That's really the only thing that he can do. I could force him to bounce his own guy with the Angelic Edict, though. Do 1, take him to 11. But if he does not bounce his own guy, then I'm really boned. So we'll just Thoktar down. Say go. I expect to get bounced here, even though the likelihood is very high that I'm going to get bounced right now. Perfect. Okay, right call. Right. Yomi, motherfucker! That is the right call. The Angelic Edict just would have been to try and keep this momentum in my favor. Now that he's got a lot of lands, we might be in trouble. You know, hopefully Time Warp just to draw a card, unless he has the Charmbreaker Devils, which I can Reprisal. And would also take all of his mana to play Charmbreaker Devils as a 5 or a 6. Does he even have it? What is Charmbreaker Devils? I have my phone with me, so I can't look real quick. Very quickly. The Charmbreaker Devils, though, is also really shit because everything in his yard is obtainable through Devil's Power. So that really was just a 4 mana, draw 1 card. Disgusting. This is not the way you want to use that thing. I mean, the 2/2s don't really... They stack in theory, but not well. I mean, the Think Twice is 1 now. That's true. But there's not a lot of spells that you want to cast in blue that don't have, you know, a sufficient amount of dedicated mana that is required of you to play. We're keeping this mana up so that I might be able to play Thoktar again. But now I don't have anything else to do. And he's going to have to tap down, so the Reprisal on my main step's not that big of a deal. I could Angelic Edict one of these so that he has to block with the other one again. But he probably has Counterspell, but that's going to open up my Reprisal in case something goes wrong. Inspiration. It's not good either. Let's go ahead and exile that. You do get to draw 2 cards, though, there, which is not good. The Thoktar is probably going to eat shit eventually. Bolt can't touch him. Amazing. Skoy. That's what I'm talking about, son. What else did he have? He had a lot of card draw. That's a weird bounce. I don't know. That tempo shift lost him the match, though. Like I was saying. I mean, that's all it takes. The mana's weird on this, though. I have 22 in here, like I said, but it apparently doesn't want to show up right now. Cloud Shift helps me protect this Thoktar and just keep him on the field, which means I can continue to bash about this man's neck and arms. Voyage's End. Just gonna Cloud Shift. I mean, it's just a computer now, so I don't really care. but we'll see what happens. Pelican Worms are never going to get played. Now we're just kind of still running a clinical on what this deck is and kind of what the construction, where it's going. And my whole thing is that we have yet to see Michaeloth. You know, like, we really needed alternate win conditions in this thing, and I really think that, you know, the Thoctars, the Pelican Worms is the triptych of Pelican Worms in there. That shows that he doesn't have anything else, but he might have the counter. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care. Oh, suck my nuts. I like that card a lot. Yeah, I don't really know why that guy plays these, the Electromancers. They're not good in his deck, and they cost him this game. I hope you guys can see what I'm saying. I don't think I'm really articulating it well, but that was the moment when he played the Electromancer was the moment that he lost. So I didn't have anything threatening out on the field, and then he decided to make pretty much everything threatening because he couldn't counter it. And that's what makes decks like that so complicated and so hard and unwieldy, is that once you start putting counters in your deck, then you really want to play everything on their instep. And when you can't, you're pretty bummed. Attack one more time. See if he's got anything. He could bounce one of them, so I attacked with both. Alright. Well, you know, that's an interesting look at this deck. I mean, we're still working on it. It's the Michaeloth build. Trust me. I know you didn't see him or really anything that generates tokens at all, but it's still that deck. You just take my word for it. We'll see what happens. I'm going to keep messing with it and seeing what we can do. Obviously, we took all the blue out. It seemed really ham-fisted and forced in there. I wasn't absolutely sure what I was doing with that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching the channel. We are doing some other stuff on it. I hope that's not bothering anybody too much. I do want you guys to enjoy this content however you want. So if you want to support the channel, by all means, watch this stuff. And if you hate other stuff, if you don't like Let's Plays a pretty controversial thing. You know, their popularity is a given, but their merits and things are debated hotly amongst smarter individuals than I, so I won't get into that. But if you don't like them, then you definitely don't feel like you have to watch those to help support the channel. I don't want you to have to slog through stuff you don't care about just to give me that view. It's not important. The analytics don't matter so much to me. They matter a lot to YouTube, and you know, they gate tons and tons of things behind, you know, 1,000 subscribers, 5,000, all the bullshit YouTube does. But I don't care. So watch what you want to watch, and hopefully you'll be enjoying that stuff. If you also like that, that's going to be segregated into other playlists and things. I am going to be re-uploading all of my stuff that was on the old channel onto this channel as well, so look forward to like just a smattering of iOS reviews and things like that. I might actually start doing some smaller reviews of some other stuff as well. We're probably also going to rename this channel back to Technovolver 2. Just Technovolver, not Technovolver the number 2. God, fuck. Jesus, if I did that, that would be insane. You know, maybe years down in the future, we splinter off again. But for right now, I think it's... I wanted to keep that stuff separate, specifically for commenters that are like, hey, don't do this on this channel, because I understand where you're coming from. But it's really fucking hard to manage, and it's a pain in the dick, and I'm not going to do it anymore. So hopefully, please forgive me. I'll see you guys all next time.